Assalamu alaikum, beta. Am I audible? Am I audible to all of you? Send a message in chat box that voice is clear. Am I audible? जी बेटा, आवाज आ रही है आप सबको? बता दें मैसेज में। यस सर, उमैमा। ओके बेटा। ओके, who's going to give his AHA presentation or who's going to start? Raise your hand that I can unmute you and share your PPT. Mohammed Hamza. Okay, Mohammed Hamza, unmute yourself.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
Walaikum assalam, beta.
आई एम रेडी। मैं
Did you send me your PPT, beta? Mohammed Hamza.
यस सर, ग्रुप में आ गई
Name of your PPT?
तो एंग्लो नॉर्मन पीरियड।
Okay, let me check. In Norman period. Okay. It's Anglo-Norman period. It's Unsa Muniba, another PPT. आपने कब भेजी थी?
10:46 पर, सुबह 10:46।
अच्छा अच्छा, सुबह सेंड की है। Let me check it again, बेटा. Because I'm struggling. Let me find it from there. Anglo-Norman period. Okay, it is. Are you giving individual presentation or do you have some? Do you have group members as well?
सर ग्रुप मेंबर्स ऑल आल्सो
What are the names of your group members, beta?
सालिया अल्ताफ और रमशा अल्ताफ।
Okay. Can you send your PPT to me again?
ओके सर।
Send me on my WhatsApp
ओके सर।
or send in the group again that I can open it.
ओके सर। वो भी रिसीव।
Yes, sir. Yes, beta. I just received it. Let me share the screen. This is the one. This
यस
is your
सर।
PPT. Okay, okay. Now start.
यस सर। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। विद द बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, इन द नेम ऑफ अल्लाह हु इज मोस्ट बेनिफिशिएंट एंड मर्सीफुल। शुरू अल्लाह के नाम से जो निहायत मेहरबान और रहम वाला है। My name is Mohammed Hamza. Today my presentation topic is Anglo-Norman period. William the Conqueror. William, usually known as the William the Conqueror and sometimes William the Bastard, was the first Norman monarch of England, reigning from 1066 until his death in 1087. He was the descendant of Rollo and was the Duke of Normandy, 1035. So next slide. Yes, sir. Again, next slide. Yes, I start. William, usually known as the William the Conqueror and sometimes William the Bastard, was the first Norman monarch of England, reigning from the 1066 until his death in 1087. He was the descendant of the Rollo and was the Duke of Normandy and was Normandy from 1035. Born Flies, France, dead 9 September 1087. Rouen, France. Spouse Matilda of Flanders. Children Henry I of England, William II of England. Robert Carthus, Idella of Normandy. The product of affairs between Robert I, Duke of Normandy, and a woman called Harleva. William was likely known as his contemporary as William the Bastard much for his life, even after he defeated the English at the Battle of Hastings and earned upgrade the William the Conqueror during William's rise of Alencon, a disputed town on the border of Normandy in the late of 1040 or early 1050. Residents are said to the hung animal hide on their walls. They mock him for to the grandson of a tanner, referring to the occupation of his mother's father. No, his jailer was the first cavalier of the Battle of Hastings. French was spoken in English coast of for centuries and completely transformed the English language and facing it with new word every English monarch
Okay.
who followed William, including Queen Elizabeth, and considered as descendant of the Norman born king. According to some monarch, some more than 25% of English population is also descendantly related to him. Countless American with British ancestry by the 13th century. It was the most common given name among Englishmen. Today, it still ranks in the top 10 as William II from 1035 and the King of England as William I from 1066, one of the greatest soldier and ruler of the Middle Age. He made himself the mightiest Nobel Prize in France and the changed the course of England history by his conquest of century. Now move to the next topic present by my group member Swali Altaf. Next slides.
Okay. I'm going to unmute Saliha. Saliha, beta, raise your hand. ये Zoom यूजर कौन है? एक मिनट बेटा, अनम्यूट करना पहले Zoom यूजर. Yes, बेटा. Zoom user, unmute yourself and tell me who are you. Otherwise, I'm going to kick out you from the room. Yes, beta. Your name? Yes, beta. You are on mute. Tell me your name. Okay, I think. Do you hear me? Yes, beta.
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Mudassir.
Mudassir. Okay, Mudassir, why you have kept the Zoom user? Why don't you use your own name?
चेंज करो, हो रहा नहीं है.
Okay, Saliha, beta, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum to all of you.
Welcome, assalam, beta.
My name is Saliha Altaf, and I would like to start my presentation with the name of Almighty Allah, who is the most merciful and most beneficial. Then I would like to thank my teacher, Sir Abdul Khalik, who gave me a golden chance to speak in front of you all. Now, today my topic is the characters of the Anglo-Norman age. The first character is establishment of feudalism. What is feudalism? William, after becoming the King of England, William established the feudalist system over there, such that he posted a lord over a specific area, and that lord had to rule over that area and also had to pay huge taxes to King William. Now, why he did that? Because he needed a way of controlling the England so that the people remain loyal to him. to him. Number second is destruction of documents by victors. On that era, the victors used to destroy the educational documents and cultural documents like poetry and literature of that land. That's why most of the old English literature work could not exist today. And why they did that? Because they want to destroy the culture of that defeated land. Like nobody will ever know that who were they. And the next is source of education, just church. The Christian church created the basics of Western system of education by the 8th and 9th centuries. Cathedral schools were established to provide basic education in the Latin grammar and Christian doctrine to the clergy. And by the 11th century, these schools emerged at the center of higher educational learning. And the next is two main universities were found in this period. Number one is Oxford, which was founded in 1096, and second is Cambridge, which was founded in 1209. The University of Oxford was basically founded by the Alfred the Great in 872. It is the oldest university in English-speaking world. And the next university is Cambridge, which was built in 1209, and it is one of the most prestigious universities or academic education institution in the world. And it was established by the group of scholars leaving the Oxford University due to their political conflicts. Then we will move to the next slide. And it is the division of class. There was a division of class in the Anglo-Norman age. The first class was known as elite class, second is clergy, and third is layman class. This difference of class system was based on their language. The first elite class, which was of kings, queens, and lords or higher authority people. This class was French speaking. The second is clergy class, which was consisted of religious people, and they used to speak and teach only Latin. And the last one is layman class, or the common people of that land, and they were used to speak English. Thanks. And now my group member Ramsha Altaf will continue this topic.
जी बेटा रमशा, unmute yourself. Ramsha, you have to unmute yourself from your side as well. Yes, okay. Go ahead.
Assalamualaikum all of you.
Walaikum assalam.
I would like to start with the name of Allah. My name is Ramsha Altaf and I am a student of BS Literature. I would like to thanks to my teacher who gave me chance to speak in front of you and of English literature. Dark Age. The Dark Age ahead is a problem for the person in which no work of English literature was done. And the official language is French was made of official language. Clergy used to teach in Latin language, so they translated English into French and Latin language. That's why French and Latin are mixed in English buying. Different priority. French and Latin were given priority, and English government or literature work was being done only in French and Latin language. And language of masses only. Language was just the language of masses only. It means French and Latin were given more importance than English. The next one, last. Most narrative French poem is Voyage of St. Brandt, and this was written by Benedict. Voyage of St. Brandt was perhaps the oldest purely narrative syllabic couplet. Thank you, sir.
You're done, beta? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. let me give you some comments over your presentation. So let's move forward to the first slide. I think the first presenter was Mohammad Hamza. Mohammad Hamza, see, you have written in this slide Anglo-Norman period, and then you have written the presentation given by Sir Abdul Khalik. That means I'm giving this presentation. And presentation made by Group C. It's good, but you should have written that presentation is given by your name, Mohammad Hamza. And this presentation is given to Sir Abdul Khalik. You see, this is a blunder. This is not a mistake. आप इंग्लिश के स्टूडेंट्स हैं तो अब इसको हम ब्लंडर ही कह सकते हैं, मिस्टेक नहीं कह सकते हैं. सो बेटा बी केयरफुल कि मैं प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं दे रहा हूँ, प्रेजेंटेशन आप दे रहे हैं. तो जो दे रहे हैं तो गिवन बाय उनके लिए होगा, जिसको दे रहे हैं तो गिवन टू उसके लिए हम लिखते हैं. ओके बेटा, सो इस तरह की आप मिस्टेक्स नहीं करें. बाकी ओवरऑल प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ मोहम्मद हमजा वाज क्वाइट एवरेज बिकॉज आई फेल समटाइम्स कि मोहम्मद हमजा आप पता नहीं क्यों वेल प्रिपेयर्ड तो लग रहे थे, लेकिन कहीं पे थोड़े इश्यूज थे. सो बी केयरफुल नेक्स्ट टाइम बेटा, जब आप प्रेजेंटेशन देने के लिए आए तो योर कॉन्सेप्ट मस्ट बी ऑन योर फिंगर टिप्स. वो कॉन्सेप्ट आपके फिंगर टिप्स पे होने चाहिए, एंड इन दिस वे यू विल गिव अ बेटर प्रेजेंटेशन. सो विश यू वेरी बेस्ट ऑफ लक फॉर योर future presentations, and I hope in future when you will get chance you will do much better than today. And the second was Saliha. So Saliha, see beta, the first word you use characters of Anglo-Norman period. See beta, it's not the characters. Character हम उसको कहते हैं, suppose के कोई novel है या कोई प्ले है तो उसमें वो जो रोल्स कर रहे हैं उनको हम करेक्टर कहते हैं, करेक्टर्स. द पर्सन्स हु आर प्लेइंग रोल इन एनी बुक, in any novel, in any story, they are known as characters. Even we people are also characters. I, being Abdul Khalik, is playing my own character. You, being a Saliha, playing your own character. See, character is related to the human being only. But these are the characteristics, or we can also call them the features, or we can also call them themes. So the characteristics and character, they have a hell of difference between them. So it's not characters, it's characteristics. And the overall your presentation was good. Then there was a Rimsha, I guess, if I'm not pronouncing her name wrong, Rimsha or Ramsha.
Yes, sir. Ramshalta.
Ramsha, okay. Ramshalta, your presentation was good. Your starting was very good. And I felt 2 or 3 times your network connection became very much poor. So there was a distortion due to the network connection. And apart from that, it seemed to me that your presentation was nearly 3 to 4 minutes. It was not lengthy than the 3 minutes. So you should manage your time better. Next time, whenever you will get chance to give your presentation, then make a material. आपका material ऐसा होना चाहिए कि at least you could speak for 5 minutes. जितना टाइम आपको दिया गया है तो उतने टाइम आपको स्पीकिंग करनी चाहिए. Overall, your presentation was also very good. So it was all about your presentation. Wish you very best of luck for future presentations and future studies. Now, second group is of Shagufta. Yes, beta Shagufta, raise your hand that I can. Yes, beta Shagufta, raise your hand. Okay. Unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam. Beta, when I'm sharing your PPT. Your PPT is here. Yes. Your PPT is shared. You are the first presenter, beta. You just muted yourself. Who's the first presenter? Yes, Amreen, beta. Who's the first presenter? Yes, beta.
Yes, sir. Shall I start?
You are the first presenter, beta.
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay, okay, go ahead. Then start.
सर हमने जो है हम 4 प्रेजेंटर्स हैं और हमने जस्ट एक स्लाइड्स पे यानी बोलना है. ठीक है,
Aish, beta,
तो यानी हम
whether you are going to speak on one slide, but you have to speak for 5 minutes because the 5 minutes were given
yes
to
sir, I
you.
will. Yes
You
sir, I
need to
will.
manage your time. Okay, beta?
Okay,
Okay, okay, go
yes
ahead.
sir.
Go ahead.
Initial with the name of Almighty Allah, who is most benevolent, ever merciful. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. This is Shagufta Muhammad Harun. I belong to Balochistan. I have done my metric and intermediate from Karachi board. Our presentation is on New Classical Age. We are 4 group members: Anamreen, Asif, she is our GR as well, Humanaz, and the last one is Yasmin Musa Khan. So first of all, I will start from introduction and definition. The New Classical Age, the 18th century in English literature, has been called the New Classical Age because in this age, the classical work was copied by Alexander Pope. This age is also known as the Augustan Age. The term Augustan Age comes from the word self-conscious. Sorry, comes from the self-conscious invitation of the original Augustan writers, which means in this age a lot of good writers came. And now the definition which I thought that it is suitable, so that is, it was the period of enlightenment because the writers were very good and excellent in this age. So this period is known as the age of enlightenment.
Hmm.
They had classical rules. They were very strict in rhymes rules. The good thing which I like the most is that the age wished to understand, not to imagine. And the second one is that there were coffee shops for books lovers to encourage writers and readers. That is my favorite part. Industries were opened in a majority in this age. Urbanization was introduced in this age, and the main thing is that this age was divided into 3 parts. The first part was Restoration Age, which was the beginning of this age, 1660, and ended in 1700. This age is also known as the Dryden Age. Augustan Age, when the Restoration Age ended, so the Augustan Age started in 1700 and ended in 1715. In the Augustan Age, the Alexander Pope the Great, this was the age of Alexander Pope, and the last one is the age of sensibility. The age of sensibility started in 1715 and ended in 1798. This was the end of this age, and in the end, the famous writer was the Johnson. Now we will go forward with next slide, and that slide will be presented by our GR Anamreen. Thank you so much.
Okay, beta, well done. Well done. Yes, beta. Unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
I am Amreen Asif from the BS English department. Today my topic is beginning of Augustan Age. When it started 1707 to 1750. I will start when. My first is Alexander Age. Alexander. The age is known as Augustan Age because the famous poet Alexander Poet copied the writing style of Horace and Virgil, who were the most famous poet and of Latin. Alexander Pope was the real lover of poetry and the user of the heroic couplets. In 1711, he wrote his most famous work, Essay on Criticism, which became Peace, and the second in 1712, The Cape of the Lock, and second of Age of Anne. Then the Anne became the Queen of England. At this time of Augustan Age started. Latin famous poet. After the poet, Pope started copying two Latin poets, and he became as rich that he bought a villa named Pope's Villa. And the last is that their writing were copied by Alexander. The novels were first time introduced in this age before its plays were being written. After that, Pope started copying two Latin poets. He became as rich that he bought villa named Pop Villa. That's it, and sir, it's turn for Yasmin.
Okay, beta. Yasmin. Yes, beta, Yasmin, unmute yourself. Yes, beta, Yasmin, unmute yourself.
Assalamualaikum everyone.
Walaikum.
Today I am presenting my topic famous writers. The first writer is Jonathan Swift. Jonathan Swift was born 13 November 1660. He was an Anglo-Irish author who is widely regarded as the foremost prose satirist in the English language. He wrote essays, poetry, pamphlets, and a novel. He is remembered for essays such as A Tale of a Tub in 1704 and a modest proposal in 1729. He is regarded by the encyclopedia as less well known for his poetry. The second writer is Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope was a poet and satirist of the Augustan period and one of its greatest artistic exponent. He was a real lover of the poetry and the excellent user of the Arabic couplets. In 1711, he wrote his most famous work, Essay on Criticism, which became his masterpiece. And the second one in 1720, The Rape of the Lock. The third writer is Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe was an English writer, trader, journalist, pamphleteer, and spy. Daniel Defoe wrote The Robinson Crusoe in 1719. This novel became so famous. This was the first novel of English literature. After that, so many novels were published, but Robinson Crusoe was top of the list. And the last is Umanas. She will present conclusion.
Last one is beta. कौन करेगा?
Umanas.
Humanas.
Ji sir.
Beta, where is Humanas? You have to raise your hand. Humanas, okay. Beta, unmute yourself, Humanas. Humanas, you have to unmute yourself from your side as well. Can you hear me better? She's not online. She just got offline here. Manoj, Yasmin. See, beta, she has again joined. Let me give her chance that she can conclude. Yes, beta, Humanas. Welcome, salam, beta.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Sumanaz and today my topic is conclusion of classical age. First point is age of realism. Classical age was also called age of realism. Realism aimed at the interpretation of the actualities of any aspects of life, free from subjective prejudice, idealism or romantic color, instead of thinking about mysteries. Second point is writing were based on objectively. Most of brilliant literature can be credited to this era. New classical era is characterized by order, accuracy, and structure. Unity in the work of all writers. New classical era brought a sense of decorum and stability to writer. Third point is the age ended and Romanticism began. The end of the age, William Wordsworth published his poem named Lyrical Ballad in 1798. With the publication of his poem, this age ended and Romantic age started.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Vita, now let me give you some comments over your presentation. The first presenter is in this session, we have nearly 8 minutes remaining. So Shagufta, your starting was excellent. And the most important thing which I found in your presentation, that it seemed to me that you were very calm, very relaxed, and I felt that there was no pressure at all, and you were giving a very good presentation with very calm behavior. So that was one of the best point in your presentation. And the second is the content which you used in your presentation, that was excellent. Like one of the point you used, the in classical edge, you said that they just focus to understand, not to imagine. That means they gave all the focus on understanding of the things, not on the imagination. It was really brilliant idea that this was the major focus of neoclassical age. And second point is that your whole presentation seemed to me that it was very conceptual presentation, and each and everything was on your fingertips, and that's why you were just very calm, and you were giving that with confidence. The only negative point which I found in your presentation, that was you just mispronounced some words, like you were pronouncing new, new classical. It's not new, beta. It's neoclassical age. Okay, NEO. It would be called as neo. So overall, your presentation was very much excellent. Among you all members, other members were good, but you, according to them, you were excellent. And then comes Ambreen. Ambreen, I'm afraid your presentation was very brief, and you gave presentation nearly 2 to 3 minutes, because I was noticing the time as well. So it was like nearly the 3 minutes presentation. So that means you did not manage your time. And more importantly, Ambreen, your presentation was very passive presentation. See, there is a big difference between a passive presentation and a calm presentation in the energetic presentation. So see, your presentation was very much passive. So थोड़ी उसमें एनर्जी लाएं आप. इतनी पैसिव प्रेजेंटेशन थी कि सुनने वालों को भी जैसे नींद आ रही है. तो सी इस तरह से नहीं, थोड़ी एनर्जी अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन में लाएं, अपनी वॉइस में थोड़ी एनर्जी लाएं बेटा, और उसके साथ आप करें. ओवरऑल योर कंटेंट वाज वेरी मच गुड. आपने कंटेंट बहुत अच्छा यूज किया था, और लेकिन थोड़ी ब्रीफ थी. अगर इसको आप 5 मिनट तक ले जाती तो ये और भी अच्छी हो सकती थी. सो बी केयरफुल नेक्स्ट टाइम related to these things. And then Yasmin, your presentation was very brief. I don't know why you just winded it up very early. Overall, you made some mistakes in terms of the content में मुझे थोड़ी mistake लगी थी. जैसे कि you said that the Robinson Crusoe was the first English novel in the history of English literature, but actually बेटा Robinson Crusoe, and more importantly Robinson Crusoe भी आप इसको गलत pronounce कर रहे थे. Its name is Robinson Crusoe and you were pronouncing it inaccurately. So Robinson Crusoe is the second novel in the history of English literature, and the first novel is Pamela, which was written before Robinson Crusoe. Okay, and more importantly, जो Robinson Crusoe का जो writer है, आपने उसका name भी wrong pronounce किया था. That his name is Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe wrote his novel, which is Robinson Crusoe, and Robinson Crusoe is my most favorite novel. So I have read this novel for 4 or 5 times. It's my most favorite novel. So yeah, these were some mistakes in your presentation. Overall, it was a good presentation. Then Humana's came. Humana's, your presentation was also very good, but it was very brief. You did not pronounce the legend of romantic age, William Wordsworth, accurately. You said that William Word. I don't know what did you say, but its correct pronunciation is William Wordsworth, and he just wrote the lyrical ballads. And with the publication of lyrical ballads, the classical age was ended and romantic age was started. Here, my question from all of you is, beta, Shagufta is there, Amreen is there, and Yasmin is there, Humanaz is there. So my question is, what do you mean by objectivity? Because in this age, the most of the writers focused on objectivity rather than subjectivity. So what is difference between objectivity और subjectivity? इनका difference अगर आपको पता है तो बता दें, अगर इनका difference नहीं पता है and सिर्फ पता है कि objectivity क्या है तो वो भी बता दें. Who is going to tell me बेटा? Yes, Shagufta, do you have any idea बेटा?
यस सर, थैंक यू सर. सर ऑब्जेक्टिविटी यानी वो हकीकत पसंद थे, यानी जैसे कि हम कहते हैं ना प्रैक्टिकल थे बहुत ज्यादा, जो मैंने इसमें पढ़ा है. अब आप ज्यादा वजाहत कर सकते हैं इस बात की कि यानी वो प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ पे ज्यादा होते हैं. जैसे ख्याली, अक्सर राइटर्स जो होते हैं ना वो ख्याली दुनिया पे होते हैं, तो ये ख्याली नहीं था, यानी सारा इनका प्रैक्टिकल था. जैसे कि मेरा जो एक पॉइंट था उसमें ये था कि इसमें यानी कि इंडस्ट्रियल रिवलाइजेशन आई थी, तो ये तमाम चीजें थी, यानी वो प्रैक्टिकल चीजों पे ज्यादा फोकस करते थे. अब आप वजाहत कर रहे हैं इस बात
बेटा, आपका आंसर बिल्कुल सही है, लेकिन इनडायरेक्टली आप जो बता रही हैं बिल्कुल एग्जैक्टली सही बता रही हैं. इसकी एक्सप्लेनेशन यही है, बट टू द पॉइंट अगर आप बताओ कि व्हाट इज ऑब्जेक्टिविटी, or do you have any idea about subjectivity? What is subjectivity?
Sir, I have idea, but now I am a little bit confused.
Okay, good try
So-
overall. See, beta, objectivity and subjectivity. Subjectivity means, as you said, that they were just focusing on the practical life and they just wanted to understand each and everything rather than going for imagination. So objectivity means free from one own ideas, beliefs. That means that thing must be based on the reality, on the facts and figures. Whereas subjectivity means in any opinion, in any piece of literature, in anything, there would be the personal feelings, emotions and personal beliefs would be involved in that. अब सिंपल में अगर आपको बताना चाहूँ कि सब्जेक्टिविटी का मकसद ये होता है कि अगर कोई राइटर कुछ लिख रहा है तो उसमें उसका अपना जो बिलीफ है, चाहे वो रिलीजियस है, ट्रेडिशनल है, सोशल है, जैसा भी उसका बिलीफ है वो उसमें ज़रूर इन्वॉल्व होगा. उसकी जो फीलिंग्स हैं, इमेजिनेशंस हैं, वो भी उसमें इन्वॉल्व होंगे. दैट इज़ नोन एज सब्जेक्टिविटी. बट ऑब्जेक्टिविटी में क्या होता है कि ना उसमें कोई बिलीफ राइटर का इन्वॉल्व होता है, ना उसकी फीलिंग्स इन्वॉल्व होती है, ना उसमें इमेजिनेशन इन्वॉल्व होती है. दैट piece of literature would be free from everything. बस उसमें क्या होते हैं, फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स होते हैं. लाइक वी हैव फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर इन साइंटिफिक स्टडीज. लेकिन साइंटिफिक स्टडी में किसी का अपना बिलीफ तो नहीं होता है ना. साइंटिफिक स्टडी में जो उनका एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं उस पर जो रिजल्ट आते हैं, सारे कंक्लूजन, सारे आंसर्स उसी के बेस पे बनते हैं. दैट मीन्स दोज आंसर्स, that literature is written on the basis of facts and figures. तो ऑब्जेक्टिविटी हम उसको कहते हैं. आई होप कि आई हैव आंसर्ड.
Yes.
ओके
Yes, sir, you have answered very well. Thank you, sir. मेरा जो एक पॉइंट क्लियर नहीं था वो आपने क्लियर कर दिया.
ओके बेटा, ओके. That was a good presentation from all of you. Best of luck. Now let's move forward बेटा.
Thank you very much.
नेक्स्ट ग्रुप जो लाइंड अप है, ये सेशन हमारा एक्सपायर हो रहा है विद इन 1 मिनट, तो आई एम गोइंग टू एंड द सेशन नाउ. मैं इसको अभी एंड कर रहा हूँ एंड देन ज्वाइन अगेन. आप दोबारा से ज्वाइन करें ताकि दूसरे जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स लाइन अप है मैं उनकी प्रेजेंटेशन ले लेता हूँ. ओके बेटा, so join again. I'm going to stop the session.